we have an individual he's going to meditate on in regard to trying to make the relationship more positive and get rid of anything negative going on in the relationship. So let me just tune into this individual. So let's see if you're willing to try this. See, are you willing to become that person in your mind?
Yes.
You're comfortable with that?
Yes.
Okay, do that. Imagine you're this person. Physically, the way the person talks, the way they use their eyes, their body language, what they do during the day. Imagine the individual going around doing things. Anything that reminds you of the habits of this person. Define the way they talk, feel, or act. Just kind of review that in your mind and imagine you are doing those very things yourself. And look for a feeling in your body of what it's like to be that person, some sort of sensation. And let me know when you have that.
Okay. Likely just need a minute.
How you doing?
All right, I'm getting the proverbial jitters.
Oh no, because I got it. I got a body sense of that person.
Okay. Yeah. I'm good.
Oh, so what do you got? Describe it.
Okay, well, right now, let me see. What I feel is mainly a locking. Let's see. I don't necessarily know why I feel a strange compression.
Uh-huh. Where?
Around my body.
Okay.
Actually, at the very surface of my skin.
Okay.
But by the same token, I feel a bit of an ebb. And
A bit of what?
Of an ebb and flow, kind of like.
Yeah. Yeah. And what do those sensations mean to you in terms of, are you comfortable with them, or are they familiar, or do they tell you anything?
It's strange because wow, I'm trying to gain perspective on it. At first they were slightly off-putting, slightly oppressive. Right? That's the compression at the surface of my skin felt oppressive, I guess. But now, as I sink into that undulation, that's what I feel. It's an undulation from the bottom up. It's beginning to feel slightly more comfortable. I'm not getting any pictures. I'm not seeing anything more than, like I tell you, that locked compression and that ebb and flow.
Okay. Okay, so now let's try the void. Maybe let me think for a second. Yeah, that'll work for you. Just imagine the night sky again with all the stars, the Milky Way. You're outside, okay? And then it just kind of goes out into further out, and it slowly fades out, and there's only one or two tiny stars left. Yeah?
Slowly, I'm getting there. Okay.
And the same beneath you, the earth itself beneath you is gone, and there's just the stars beneath, the same Milky Way. Lots of stars down there, galaxies. And it's all slowly going farther out, fading out, so there's only one or two tiny dots left. Okay, so again, and then imagine the whole sphere. You look up, you look down, you look in any direction. There's just the vast empty void going out for light years. Nothing there. No substance, no energy, no atoms, no solar wind, nothing. It's your space. Just a big empty void. Okay, and so the nature of the void is that there's nothing to attach to. There's nothing threatening anything else. There's no form presence, so nothing can attack anything else. And because there's no limitations, barriers, boundaries of any kind, there's only oneness. Everything here is one with everything else. Although, even though there's nothing here, it's all one. It's one big, unified, empty, open, clear oneness. So it has a feeling to it, even though it has nothing there.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of like Euclidean space. Just you can measure it out for light years, and it's there. There's space, but there's nothing in it.
Yes.
Okay, so now retain that. Keep the void. And imagine again the individual like almost right in front of you. So you've already connected to this individual. You're just bringing the person into your void, and as if the person's actually right there, 4 or 5 feet away from you. Space is suspended. There's no space or time, so if you imagine something, they're right there. But you're still the void. You've got lots of freedom and flexibility to handle anything. So now the nature of the void, again, is it's perfect clarity and detachment. It's also perfect oneness. It's perfect freedom. It's perfect peace. It's also perfect love. So what you can do, you're going to be the void, all those things I just said, and you're going to be this person too. You're going to be fully aware of the person as the person's aware, the individual's aware of the self, and you're going to be the void at the same time. It's almost like you're welcoming the individual home. From that place, the void is from where all things arise. And when people attain perfect freedom and perfect enlightenment, they return to the void. The void becomes part of them. You're welcoming the person back to where they will eventually, the level of awareness they'll eventually attain. In the end, the far future. But you're making it present right now. And again, there's an actual energy there, so it takes a little effort. If you're that person's energy, that person's aura, that person's mind and feeling, there's a letting go, a releasing, an ability to feel safe and peaceful and free, so the person can merge with that nothingness, vastness, infinite peace of the void. You're seeing the perfected attainment of this individual soul and rehearsing it for that person right now. This is a divine action. It's an act of creation.
I have to admit it. It's a lot to take into consideration my relationship to the individual.
Yeah, so you keep going back to imagine the void by itself and then represent the person. You can go back into the void without the person there. Reinstate that sense and then come back.
Wow. There's a lot of emotions
Yeah.
present.
All right. So you could just send the person back to their self and break the connection so that you're no longer linked. And work with yourself. Work with yourself as just being open and feel what's in your body.
Yo, this is intense.
Yeah. Well, like I mentioned, that individual has a plan for you. And so if you're connecting on that level, the other person's saying, well, this goes two ways. I want you part of my thing. And so you have to actually deal with an entire tradition, not just an individual.
Good God.
And that's why it's so difficult sometimes. It's not about you in a way, it's about the entire tradition. And the tradition's saying to you, perfect me, join me, or set me free.
I have to admit that there's more of a feeling of release.
Mm-hmm.
It's very unprecedented, especially working in this way whereby you bring in the individual into the space after connecting to them, working on them and setting them free, and then working on yourself. It's systematic and makes sense. Oh my God, the emotions are...
Yeah.
It's pretty far out for me,
Yeah.
I tell you.
Well, that tradition's in a way saying we offer the world something no one else can offer. So if you're making direct contact with us, then you should either agree with us or fulfill us in some way that we don't know about. So in other words, love us too. And if you love us, you'll either fulfill us or set us free. So you got to go back almost to the beginning. Why did that tradition arise? What void does it itself fill in? What is the really positive in that tradition? And what does that tradition not do that's not right?
I guess the sheer pettiness of it is one thing that keeps strobing in my mind in terms of the things that their members do are far more negative than positive. But by the same token, I can sense the immense power in their tradition due to its primitiveness. It's almost like
It's ecstasy, yeah, the wild dance. And
yeah, exactly.
tribal and wild.
Almost id-like.
Yeah. There's a beauty to it.
Completely. Whoa, shit.
All right, so let's wrap that up. All right, just so that's it. Call that a session. So if I were doing this, say my father was a hardcore Republican, Baptist, evangelical Christian, and I had deep conflicts with my father, I might realize at some point it wasn't my father the conflict was, it was the entire history for 500 years of evangelical Christianity, and then the additional 1,500 years before that, and then another 1,800 years of Judaism from which it sees itself arising. So I'd have to ask myself, what is the positive within these traditions? What did they accomplish? What did they fail to accomplish? So that I could realize it's not my conflict with my father, it's actually an entire tradition that wants to be reborn through me. And so it's not opposing me, it's actually looking to me as its son and saying, fulfill me or set me free. Show me something better. Either get on board or show me something better. Or if my father were a Nazi in Germany, an SS officer, high-ranking officer, I'd have to say what was right about the German tradition, going back to the general who defeated Octavian, and saying the Germans kept free of the Roman Empire. They had a lot of immense willpower that no other race seems to have, and their technology is just unparalleled in terms of their inventiveness. But they also lack soul. They never really they never developed a conscience, just an imperial sense of taking command. So I would have to deal not with my SS father, if that's what I had, but with the fact that there's a tradition of willpower that the human race does need, but needs it in a positive way, with a conscience, with empathy. And that would be a huge task to accomplish, But sometimes it's, in therapy they'll take you either way. They'll say, just don't try to deal with it. Focus on what you need to do to get through the day. And another approach is, no, the whole tradition wants to come alive through you. It's begging you. They're all dead now, and they want, or they're an older generation. They want their life to be carried on, and they don't care if it's in a new form or not. They just want to be alive. Show them a better way of being alive. So it's either or both,
I get it.
We are the heirs of the dead, and they want to be alive again. They live through us, so they're just begging us. Find what we could not find. Do what we could not do. Love the way we could not love. You're all we've got. Look at the level of involvement there. So you can deny that and say, no, I just want to get through the day, or you can say, yeah, I accept the challenge. Let me show you a better way of life. So that's the void. The void says it's infinite. You can go infinite possibilities. Tomorrow, next moment, this moment doesn't need to be the slave of the past. It can have an entirely new beginning. Here's what the dream I want to dream. Here's the way I want to live life. And it encompasses everything that went before, but it's completely new. No one saw it. And that's the freedom of the void. You can imagine anything.